It's so nice to have you on my show, Jag with Just Ravi.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Jastavi. Pleasure to be here and, really looking forward to our engagement over the next 1 hour.
Super. So I'm curious, when was it, because now you're with Avatar Me, when was it that you realized for the first time that this is something disruptive and something that you need to be associated with?
This is a deep tech company and probably will be the first one really to be from India, a deep tech company founded in India. That got me really excited. It was a new space, completely new space, yet not a new space, because it was about getting people onto a technology, onto a platform which will help their consumers discover products in a lot more engaging manner than what people are currently used to. So it was a consultative and a product job both. So that was exciting, and that was also the similarity, because solving a problem was something that always excited me, and this was something that I had done pretty much all my life. But what was the new dimension for me to learn here was the whole approach of deep technology and how that is changing the world, as well as what SaaS models are all about. And this is the first step for me into SaaS.
Right. So now the way we shop is changing big time. Experts are saying that the mall has to reimagine itself, because it might just end up being an unshopping mall, because not just of the COVID compulsions, but because it is changing our preferences and our habits, and we are being pushed to experience the possibilities. Right. And the future is already here. People were preparing for it, and here it is. And augmented reality, at a surface level, everybody can think that it's been there, that virtual reality thing. Yeah, you when you have to look at a real estate space, you can just swivel and see, through virtual reality on a website. Isn't it that? But when Avatar.me says that it has reimagined what is possible, could you give us a flavor of what's possible with a few examples of certain categories? Because so far it's, if we see the difficulties in shopping online, there are lots.
I think the avatar that people understand by and large what augmented reality is more closer to virtual reality. The moment you put a wearable on your head is what people understand. So AR and VR has been interchangeably understood by the masses, but they are two distinct platforms and offerings.
Yes.
Virtual reality is something that requires you to wear a headset onto your face. And then experience the world around, or the augmented world around, right? And how you want to see it and experience it.
Yes.
Limitations on that are, first, the advantages of virtual reality is that it's probably the closest to near perfection that you can achieve, because it's completely, you're encased in it. There is nothing, the whole audio video experience really comes alive in 3 dimensions like you would never have seen before. But there is a reason why it has not really, scaled up to the levels that it could have, because the moment you ask people to add a new device to their repertoire, it's going to have a direct friction, right? Because there will be a cost attached to it, and do I really need it, and how often am I going to use it? And the moment I wear it, then for the next 15-20 minutes also, whatever it is, or whatever time duration you're going to be wearing it, I'm lost to the world, so I'm not available then, right? For people who are professional gamers, maybe it makes a lot of sense. Or when you're trying to sell a real estate property to someone, that the sales executive can come home without you having to go to a site and make you wear that headset and actually experience it. But scaling is a big problem or a big challenge when it comes to headsets. Augmented reality has truly the ability and the power to scale really rapidly, because that is now available through your mobile phones. So you don't really need to buy a new device to experience three dimensions and augmented reality in your environment. You can do that with your phone. It doesn't matter whether you're using a 1 lakh rupee sophisticated Apple or a Samsung phone versus let's say an entry level 5,000 rupee smartphone, whether it's Xiaomi or it's or any of these Vivo, Oppo, who are the leaders of the bottom end to mid end smartphones. So I'm just giving you the entire spectrum. Can really enjoy the experience of augmented reality. So that's one. So scalability is effortless, right? Also, the point of inflection that happened was between 2019 and 20, right? There were about 500 million devices across the world which were AR enabled, which in 2020 had moved to almost 1.3 billion, right? So the moment people are replacing their devices, the new ones that are coming into the hands of people are already AR enabled. Now, when you look at the usership of the AR functionality on these devices is still about 30 odd percent, right? So there is still a 60% of the market which is carrying the technology but not really using it, because the use case has either not reached them, or the use case that is currently available to them is not relevant to them. And I think the people who have led this from the front, or the adoption of these things, is Facebook through its platform called Spark AR, and in the US, and of course in a small way in India, Snapchat, right? So all those filters that you see, your millennials and Gen Zs use, where you have the ability to put on glasses, or whiskers on your thing, or make your mouth look like a dog and stuff like that. So those kind of filters, and I think that's one of the reasons why the remaining 60% of the market, like people like you and me, may find it cool and cute at one point, but it's not something that you're going to take a picture and share it on social, which unlike the millennial Gen Zs are far more likely to do this. So I think clearly there's a big gap, big use case opportunity that exists in putting the experience out there for people to consume. And that essentially is where it comes down to saying the paying audience, or the transacting audience online today don't have a reason to invoke this experience, right? And that's where I think using commerce and digitally influenced commerce really on digital and digitally influenced commerce is really where the heart of the play lies. And this is where people will start discovering products in a much more engaging and unique manner, right? So I can experience the product in 3D XR, which is extended reality, wherein it doesn't transpose into your space, but you're able to move the product and toggle it across the x-axis and y-axis. Whereas and in 360, and then if you and it's not extended reality, you will not be able to see that in size, but the moment you get into augmented reality, you will be able to actually transpose the product into your own environment, and test it for both aesthetics as well as for fit. And not only that, tomorrow if you wanted a quick opinion on which one really looks good, beyond my own opinion, which of course matters the most because I'm the one who's going to be paying for it. But if I want to do a quick survey amongst my friends, I can take a picture of it and pass it on. The comfort of experiencing the product without leaving the comfort of your drawing room, then you really have made a big impact on digital discovery.
Yeah.
At Avatar, we have the battle that we have picked up is to solve for enabling product discovery on digital and digitally influenced commerce. So that's the space that we want to operate in. Is there an opportunity in the future to look at any of the other spaces? Absolutely yes, but for the moment we will focus on digital discovery and digitally influenced commerce.
Yeah, this is all so interesting and so very relevant. I mean, fashion categories, they say, have been most hit, and not just because of work from home, but also because, of the way malls are enclosed ACs, spaces. So this whole thing of virtual human holograms, that a feature that you have, if you could, talk about that. And this two-way interactivity, when you were earlier sharing, Kedar, about the unboxing, and how you make that so exciting. From the marketing perspective, these two are so very interesting and useful for the consumers as well as for clients.
So let me take a couple of examples. Right, one is virtual showrooms. Now, virtual showrooms are something which give a completely new way of experiencing a product without really having to step out, right? And the one way that people had gotten used to on e-commerce particularly is you go to any of the e-commerce portals, depending on whether it's a horizontal portal or a vertical portal, depending on what category you're really searching for. You would make a query for a product or a brand or a category. Come to its page, you find small tiles of the product, then you click on it. So that was a now when I look at it, it's a fairly lengthy process of sorting. You need to be really clear about what you're going in for. Generic searches will only take more time on these journeys, right?
Yes.
Whereas if you were to introduce a virtual showroom, it's like you trigger the camera, the back camera, and you can step into the virtual showroom, and every time you pan, you'll be able to see which it's like a virtual walkthrough, literally virtual walkthrough, which is so photorealistic and renders in real time on your mobile networks, let alone Wi-Fi networks. It's like now having 50 web pages open in front of you. Right, so you don't have to go. So your scan becomes so much more easier. Okay, so I'm looking for mobile phones. So when I go there and I keep walk closer to it, I'll be able to see all those phones on display, just the way you would do in the real world.
Actually.
And now if there is a way I'm trying to divert your attention to, here is a new launch. With a carousel which is flashing, this is the new release. I can actually go there, click on that product, do an unboxing of the product in my environment, configure it in different ways in terms of if there are the color options available for the device. I can select the colors. I can see the accessories that come along with that box, hey, if I'm convinced, also some of the other features like camera and how it's great at low light. I can do a demo of that in the unboxing experience itself, and then if all going well and you're convinced that yes, this is the phone that I'm looking for, you can push someone straight into the commerce part of it and close the purchase. So great middle and bottom funnel solutions now for digital and digitally influenced commerce on discovery.
Wow. I mean, I was actually, walking through the virtual showroom. Is this something you cannot do? Like what you can do in an actual showroom? And is there something still that has
physically
to be
physically holding the phone?
Tactile, sensory.
But the tactileness, yes. But you don't know what really how the way the technology is going forward. Haptics. There's a lot of work happening on haptics, so you never know when all of these things will change. We're completely dependent on a mobile phone in its current form, which is a brick, to experience augmented reality. Tomorrow, this could well turn into a glass. And if I'm not mistaken, there is a lot of chatter happening around the next phone from iPhone will not be a phone, but probably a wearable glass. So once it becomes a wearable glass, then the world becomes your oyster. Augmented reality will be a whole new order.
But what about, FMCG categories, which is impulse purchase, there's not so much differentiation. For example, I'm trying to come to Brand Vanish and your association with them. I found that so innovative in terms of, how you made demos possible and made such relevant information, possible for the consumer in such a convenient manner. Could you tell us your association with a brand like Vanish?
The full leverage of AR is when you can really turn the product upside down, see it from all angles. Therefore, FMCG has a slight limitation on that. But I thought the way they lapped up to this and said, hey, when we make a TVC around Vanish or any of our product, we can easily land the benefit of this and easily understood by consumers. But is there a way we can really make this more granular? Because today's stains and combination of garments are multiple, which we can't in a 20 or a 30-second deliver. Is there a way we can deliver this through this? And that's where the whole thing of saying we can pretty much do a menu-driven operation of if Jasravi is looking only for a wine stain, is there a way we can show Jasravi how this can help you even take care of wine stains on a dress of yours or on a it could be on a dress. It could be a lipstick stain on your dress.
Right.
It could be a coffee stain on your shirt. It could be a curry stain, or it could be an ink stain on your kid's uniform, right? So these are the various searches that today consumers are doing on Google to find out what different solutions are. So is there a way we can actually bring this alive for them? And the brand also had Apar Shakti Khurana, who was their brand ambassador. So we said, hey, this is a great opportunity. If you can bring in Apar Shakti Khurana, we can shoot it in a the requirements are very simple. We just need a simple green screen shoot to narrate the entire story, and then whatever demo we needed to be done for that was shot across multiple combinations, which is 5 garments and 5 stains, so each one with the other. So if you came onto that and you said, I want to know, my dress is or my garment is a dress and my stain is wine, then the whole experience configures itself for these two to come together, right?
So what do I experience if I do
and
this?
then you can actually drop, because now it's being shot. It's a 3D hologram of Shakti Khurana and the entire apparatus. You can pretty much drop this entire experience into your drawing room and see it. In COVID times, where access for demos had significantly reduced because malls were shut, supermarkets were shut, entry into cooperative housing societies or resident welfare associations was shut. This was a technique of bypassing all of that and allowing people to experience the demo in the safety of your not just comfort, but in the safety of your own home.
Yeah, and everybody's talking about immersive experience for the brand and engage the consumer, and even if they're not buying, it's going to help the relationship. And here I can experience it for real in terms of the proof of the product benefit as well on a very, very relevant problem that I'm facing right now. And like you said, it's linked to my search. So at that point in time, I'm looking, I can have that demo. If I'm convinced, then like you said earlier, e-commerce is also linked. So I go straight away and make a choice. And my solution, I have my solution.
Yeah. So your entire, if you were to really look at the funnel, you've also created an impact on the top of the funnel now. For me, the greatest learning of this entire thing versus all the learning that I have had in the past 2 decades is the funnel has changed dramatically. The funnel that we have grown up, understanding and mastering is so much more different from where it is today.
Yeah, yeah, and you were talking about the other aspects of the fact that the purchase funnel has changed. But what really intrigued me, Kedar, when you were saying that mostly for AR, although the purchase funnel has changed, but middle to bottom is where these kind of experiences can be provided for conversion or engagement. But for an FMCG brand, you're saying the impact is there on the top of the funnel also. So why?
Yeah, as in, you really, I mean, while this would have worked and this has worked for Vanish, you'll require customized solutioning of what kind of activity can you do at the top of funnel. Top of funnel, it's not that FMCG not so a lot of Spark activity, which is the whole Facebook platform. There is lots of work that happens of building awareness through augmented reality on these platforms as well. Consumers are only going to get richer for experience from here on.
Yeah, and like as you were speaking, I thought that this is one of those things of sweet spot between brand magic and brand performance, which I want you to talk about a little bit more, because you and I are of a certain era. But this whole thing of this is getting you an experience and relationship with the brand, as well as it's helping you make the ROI and the conversions more tangible. Something like this entire demo thing that you talked about. So
Right.
when you were talking about marketing earlier, and the fact that it is drastically changing, how would you like that it evolves in the future? That the magic and the art of it is as sacred as the performance and ROI aspect of it.
While this is really doing a great job of the middle funnel and bottom funnel, uh, and why by me? So who am I and why by me? I think the why by me gets really fortified through experiences like these. But who am I as a question still requires a lot more of magic to be created on the top. It can't be left to functional stuff. I think the higher level thinking of the purpose and the reason for this brand to exist in people's lives uh, will exist. Those questions will have to be answered. Those questions will have to be posed and answered. Yeah.
So earlier, Kedar, you were talking about FMCG categories. Now, the way Vanish has used this, are there any other categories where you feel this kind of a synergy, giving an online demo possible, will help, people get familiar with the product, or educate them about it, or want increased desirability?
This technology has the solution to drive mass level experiencing. Today, for example, if I were to do an experience, on ground experience campaign, the cost per contact is significantly high, right? Because I got to set up that thing, there'll be people involved, I have to physically carry equipment, get them to experience the product, and I'll get 3,000 people, 4,000 people. But the moment I get onto the web, the right amount of push, before you even know, you would have had 500,000 people experiencing and a journey or a product demo.
You were talking about the reverse logistics aspect of e-commerce, and how
Right.
precious this kind of technology can be, because people
Yes.
know exactly what they're getting into, and the post-purchase dissonance is not going to be there, and the barrier with an e-commerce purchase transaction is also going to go down. Sure.
So typically when you buy or when you're in the market to look for a refrigerator, and I'm using specifically a use case of large appliances because
Yes.
that hurts the most. when you buy a large appliance like a refrigerator, you've seen it online and like it very much. There is a rough idea of the size, and you think it's roughly there, and you go ahead and make the purchase. It lands up into your home, and suddenly you realize that, oh my God, just by a little, it's missed it. Uh, I can't break the kitchen platform now to just fit this thing in. So, or it used to be. I remember there were. I had gone to one of these, consumer durable outlets in Bombay sometime back when we were doing up our kitchen, and I loved a refrigerator, and he asked me, "To size kya hai aapki jagah pe?" And I said, "Oh, shit, that homework I hadn't done."
Yeah.
So I had to go back home, measure it myself. Now I'm relying on my ability to measure it, and then going back and then measuring the fridge and say, okay, this is looks like I think it's going to fit, but there is always that what if it doesn't, right? Now there are times when people have had ordered in because they've loved the configuration, it's exactly what we wanted, and perfect for our family and all of that, and boom, it comes and it doesn't go in. So what do you do? So you call the person back and say, hey, can you take this back? I need to pick up something else. Now there is just too much friction at both ends, at the consumer end as well as at the platform end. Consumer is feeling like, oh my God, what did I do? And miserable. I wanted it up and about. Now I have to wait for another 3-4 days before the replacement comes in. Is the replacement going to be costlier than what I was expecting it to be, or is it going to be lesser? If it is going to be lesser, then will I get a credit note or will I get a cash back? Those kind of questions are bugging you and bothering you. At the other end, the platform is saying, yeah, oh my God, no, I'll have to go and pick this up from the place. So there'll have to be another round of, a delivery van that'll have to go to just pick it up. So there's friction at the consumer end, and then there is reverse logistics at the other end. When you go and propose it at saying, hey, the consumer will not only get a good idea of aesthetics. So, for example, if there are two shades, there's a fridge in white and fridge in black, you can actually see it and take pictures and see whether the black fits best or does the white fit best. And does it fit also?
Yeah.
So if it does not, then okay, I need to look for something else. So already you've taken one part of the friction. The other end on the platform, when you're pulling it back, there is a cost that is involved over there. So there is, there's a potential millions of dollars saved in, reverse logistics, and there is, probably lots and lots of no friction in the purchase decision making process at the consumer end. So it's a win-win solution for everybody who's out there.
It is such an enabler to the digital discovery, like you said, the digital discovery to conversion. It's such an enabler for the consumer. I mean, and of course, you're talking about the other side, but just as a consumer, just visualizing it is amazing.
You always want to know how that dress looks on some looks, right? Now, instead of it being posted on or pasted on a mannequin. You can actually use your brand ambassador to not just be static, you can actually drop into your environment, showcasing the garment. So that's a use case for fashion that can easily be done. So, for example, if a leading actress is signed up for a leading brand of jeans, you can actually, why just have it as a poster when you can drop the person in, you anyway shooting video of it. You might as well take the grab against a green screen and be able to drop the hologram into the user environment.
Bring the brand alive, bring the product alive. How will it look? Or perhaps choose a more real person than the actress.
How is it going to look on me? On models it will always look great, but how is it going to look on me is the question really on apparel. Now that is something that is not easy to crack at the moment, but eventually some solution will come out on that, because what we really need here is an individual size, and That's not easy to get just from the capture of the front camera, you know.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
how will it look on me as an individual is still a question that I think we're
Okay.
trying to solve.
Let's say it's
But
WIP. Yeah.
yeah,
WIP.
WIP, yeah. Where because the use case is huge on that, but it's still WIP to tap into.
Okay. Get it. Super. Thank you so much for sharing such,
Sure.
a very, very new technology. You've explained in such an easy manner. I cannot say we've all understood totally, but it's definitely, more familiar. It's definitely in our
Most welcome.
homes. It's in our home.
Most welcome. Rapid fire. Okay.
Literally. And
Okay.
I'm going to shoot only if you elaborate or think too much. You have to quickly say whatever comes to your mind. Are
Done.
we ready? So let's see how you do, huh?
Yes.
Mom's best advice.
Be honest.
Favorite holiday destination.
Bandhavgarh.
Oh, recent. Priya Balan's
Yeah.
most often used phrase.
Most often used phrase from Priya Balan is okay. I don't. There's just too
Oh,
many, and they're
if you were a breakfast cuisine, what would it be? What would you be?
English breakfast.
Okay. What keeps you awake at night?
Music.
Success.
Collective. Collective.
Got
It's
it.
a collective thing.
Got it. Laughter.
The best medicine.
Always.
On.
Priya's pet peeve.
Priya's pet peeve. Cat.
Low lintas.
Alma mater.
Never.
Say
Never.
no. Say no.
Ira and Ruhan.
Um, Parts of me.
Vidya's preferred time pass.
Sitting and chatting at after 12.
Missing.
Missing dad.
Vidya, something about Vidya Balan that most people don't know.
Well, that she can't drive.
Interesting. You did very well. Kedar, I've come to know you sing.
Yes,
So you sing.
I'm a trained bathroom singer. So
That must be your modesty. Why don't we figure it out for ourselves?
let me attempt a song. It actually pretty much defines my career that I have spanned. So here's how it goes. It's the title of the track is Bawra, and here's how it goes. बाबरा मन देखने चला एक सपना बाबरा मन देखने चला एक सपना बावरे से मन की देखो बावरी है बातें बावरी सी धड़कने हैं बावरी है सांसें बावरी सी करवटों से निंदिया दूर भागे बावरे से नैन चाहे बावरे झरोकों को बावरे नजारों से तकना बावरा मन देखने चला एक सपना.
You sing so well.
Yeah, as in yeah, बाथरूम से आके अभी ना बाहर आके गाने की हिम्मत हो गई है. So
Superb. It just touches you. It comes from a deep, pure place.
yeah,
Thank you
Thank
so
you so much. Thank you for this opportunity. It's to be honest. It was a pleasure talking to you as always. Back then in office and now across the screen, nothing's changed, and that's what makes it special. So stay the way you are. And I love the way you and the entire family has entertained us through the lockdown. There was not a single video that we missed. So keep entertaining and keep doing what you're doing. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Kedar.
So, ladies and gentlemen, wherever you are and whatever you're doing, please ensure that you have liked, shared, and subscribed to please,
Jack with Ravi.
Jagged with Jasravi. And trust me, you will find the host a lot more interesting than the guest.
Oh.